Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be walking you guys through how I exactly got to 300 points in arena mode. It wasn't the easiest thing ever. Obviously, we got a lot of tryhards in these game modes. So throughout this video, I'm going to be talking about what I did. Obviously, I'm not the best player out there, but I somehow found a way to, I guess you could say, qualify for the World Cup qualifiers or whatever. So throughout this video, I'm going to be talking about how I did it, some tips, and what you got to do. First things first, guys. If you don't have to engage in a fight, I wouldn't. You got a lot of good players in the lobby, so there's consistent third parties, and obviously this guy hit a crazy shot on me, so I definitely say don't engage in fights unless you must. Jumping into the map, you got a couple options. First things first, I think it's very important that you have a baller in this game. No matter when you get it, the most important part is that you have it near the end of the game, because the circle gets so small and there's a ton of people in that circle, so you need to get a baller. If you don't have one, it's not the end of the world. You must have mats if you don't, but it is very important, in my opinion, that you get a baller at the start. So you see here, I picked a landing spot where not many people know about. Actually, it's still a pretty unknown location. So I'm going to be landing here and picking up a baller and getting on my way. Obviously, with Fortnite changing the max mats to 500 of each, it is very important that at almost all times during these competitive Fortnite game modes, you have as many mats as possible, because you never know when you're going to run into the next sweat and you're going to have a build off. So once you've got your starting loot, you got your baller, I suggest going somewhere low key, somewhere far away from as many people as possible, and just start chopping down, get as much wood, get as much brick as you can. Metal's a little difficult, obviously not as much, but it is very, very important to get a lot of mats in arena mode. Obviously, you don't get a baller every game. I was lucky enough to get one this game. There are a ton of people landing on ballers consistently, so it's pretty difficult to get them. But once you have a baller, your options are unlimited. As you guys can see, the zone was closing here. I had a lot of mobility with this baller, so there's obviously no reason for me to go to zone too early. That's where all the players are going to be. That's where all the sweaty tryhards are going to be. So I'm just playing it cool, staying on the outskirts, waiting to rotate with the zone. Obviously, you have to pay the two token bus fee to get in the game. So we always want to make sure we're getting those points back. And by doing that, by getting top 25, we're able to get those points back. And then once we get top 25, guys, it is a completely different story. Your strategy changes drastically once we hit top 25. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But as you guys see, I'm just moving in with the zone here. Obviously, got a lot of mobility, got mats, got okay loot, not the best yet, but it's still good enough. It'll get me to the end. Once the second zone is about to close, I suggest getting somewhere where you can box up. There's still normally about 50 players. This game, there was only 40. I don't know why, but once the second zone is about to close, I highly suggest you go somewhere, box up. I say build two. If you got a baller, build two 1x1s. Put your baller in one, put yourself in the other. And then if you hear anybody fighting with you, obviously, if you think you can take them out, you are more than welcome to just defend yourself and go for it. But I think it's really important to have mobility in these type of scrims. It's a lot of tight areas, a ton of tight areas, so you need to have mobility. And with that baller, you still got mobility, but you got to make sure you have an escape plan. So in this situation right here, I got myself a 1x1, and then in the other 1x1, I got the baller. And I'm gonna build a door in between the two, so I am able to get out if I must. I don't know if I do build the door or not, but I suggest doing that just so you have a chance to get out. So once you see where the third zone is going to be, you want to make that rotation right away. Obviously, you have the baller, so you have mobility. If you don't have a baller, you can still make this rotation. I suggest making this rotation whether you have the baller or not, right when that third zone is forming, because the majority of the people in this game are trying to wait for top 25, and they're going to all move when this zone is closing, and that's a lot of pressure on you. Obviously, if you have a baller, you could probably make that rotation as well with a little bit of damage taken on the baller, but I suggest moving quickly. Find a structure if you can. A structure is a great place to box up, start building. Obviously, I found this little hut right here. It was a good spot to box up. Obviously, like I said again, put your baller in one by one, and then put yourself in the other. Play it smart, play it safe. Obviously, here I'm not on max wood, so I use this as a way to farm some wood and build a base. And yeah, so what you guys might be saying is that, oh, Sundry, you're just hiding it out. You're not a good Fortnite player. Oh, you're just hiding it out. But guys, if you want to get a lot of points in these game modes, it is important to get top 25 every single game. So I told myself I'm not going to die until I get top 25. And you'll see here, guys, after this I do make some plays and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so now that the fourth circle is formed, you want to make another quick rotation. Here you got to be a little bit more careful. You got to go somewhere more strategically. Obviously when you're making this rotation, you are going to get targeted much more than normal because there's still a ton of people left. Obviously you guys can see the other ballers in the game, but you do get targeted much more. I say just find a spot where you're not going to get pinched from both sides. So I find this tree, I tell myself I'm going to box up right next to this tree. It's a little extra cover. I think I do end up farming it, yeah I do, but it's still a great spot because there weren't too many bases around me at this when I first picked this spot, so I was not getting targeted. So in this situation, guys, I'm telling myself obviously I'm going to need to play at least one more game to get the full 300 points. I will get 3 points here in a second. There we go for the top 25. I'm telling myself I probably won't get that many kills this game, so considering we just got 3 for top 25, I really can only get 5 more points if you think about it. So in this situation, I'm thinking maybe I should go for some kills, and the aggro play starts a little bit more. Obviously, I'm not going to be straight up pushing people, but I do start to be a little bit more aggressive once in all these arena games. Once I do get the top 25, because I do get my points back, and that is when I start really playing more aggressive. Again, guys, you are going to have to make a tough rotation. Luckily enough, I've been keeping my baller with me. It has not taken any damage at all. It might have taken a couple. But at this point, my baller is in good condition, and the zone is getting mighty tiny. So it's a great way to make a rotation. No rifts needed, no launch pads needed. You just get right in with the baller. Obviously, in this situation, I did get contested by this one guy. He was a pretty good player, as you can tell by his build. So I did not want to engage with him. I could tell he was a good player, so I just tried to back down on him a little bit, move my baller out of the way, build around me. I think somewhere around here somebody does start shooting at my baller for some reason, so my baller is going to take a little bit of damage here, so that's not a great thing, but still I was able to make this rotation safely. This is a pretty tough rotation here. This is where I think the baller gets a little damage, but at least I don't lose any health. I'm still 100 got decent amount of mats in this situation, not max everything, but I'm in a pretty good situation. I'm not playing ultra aggressive, but obviously if I have a shot I will take it. I'm not too afraid of dying in this stage. I've already got my 3 points for getting top 25. Obviously I do want to get the top 15. That's another 2 points, so we'll hopefully get that in a second. With a circle this small, you got a couple options. Obviously if you have the baller, you can do whatever you want to do. You can move quick, you can move late. In this situation I decided to get as close to where I think the zone's going to be as possible, and then I actually did make a couple plays here. It was a little risky, obviously it was a tight situation here, but I did end up trying to take this guy out. He wasn't actually paying attention to me. I was unable to take him out right there, but I thought it was a good little altercation. Took some damage off of him. So the zone was actually moving pretty tight here. You got to be very careful in these situations. A baller can't get you out of everything. Hey, so I do get the sticky or the stink bomb kill there. That's another point. We're about to get the top 15 as well. There's a lot of people dropping as this zone is closing. I still have my baller, not much health, but it will still do the job. It's still like a free shield. Nobody can shoot you through it, so that's a good thing. There we go. We got the top 15. That's another 2 points. And now, guys, if you look at it, we are only 7 points off. We are only 7 points off the 300. There's no way we could get it in this one game, right? There's no possible way, guys. And we got a bunch of people just boxing up, and I'm just gonna stay in my baller until somebody tries to take it out, and then I have to build. So at this point, guys, I'm telling myself I'm gonna just try to stay in this baller as long as I can. And that's what I do. Here I do make a little mistake. The baller ends up going into the storm, but I am able to box up, and the zone is gonna end up helping me out. So it's gonna move towards the baller. I'm gonna jump back into it, box it up again, make sure I don't lose that, because I'm gonna have to keep making these rotations. Here we go again, just boxing up, but little did I know that zone was gonna start moving 5 seconds later. Now, guys, we only got about 10 people left. I am getting a little bit low on mats, so I am aware of that in the game. I do make a little mistake there, lose a little bit of damage with the baller, not a big deal, but we now only got about 8 people left, still 7 points off. And I'm just trying to get in that zone as fast as I can. I'm always trying to make the rotation first, because if you're making the rotation first, you don't have as much pressure on you as the other people do. So as you guys see here, there's a bunch of people making the rotation. I was thinking about getting out, trying to get some easy pick-off kills, but I do not. Probably a good decision that I didn't. So I'm just chilling by this tree with the baller. Now this guy comes, and I was worried that he was going to go for the baller, so I decided to get out of it, and little did I know he wasn't. So then I drop back down. I found my baller somehow with like 20 health left, and I'm still chilling in that baller. We still got, what, I think it's 6 people. Yeah, we still got 6 people left, so I still don't have the top 5 points. You get 2 points for getting top 5. There we go. Now we got the top 5 points, guys, and now we're only 5 points away from 300. You do get 3 points for a victory royale, so I'm thinking here, man, can I get a couple kills and can I get that victory royale? Maybe I get to 300 points right now. Let's see, guys. So I dropped down. The zone is going to be moving off the mountain, so I decided to go early. The guy does end up breaking my baller, so long time with that baller, and it is all over, guys. And now here, guys, here's a little kill for you guys. There we got 1 kill, not a bad kill. Guy wasn't paying attention that well, and then we got a couple guys coming up. Do a couple quick 90s to get that high ground. It is my high ground now, ladies and gentlemen. It is my game to win. I got the high ground on both of them. Next thing you know, guys, I'm going to throw a couple stink bombs down there. He is going to get a lot of damage taken off of him, a lot of HP. I think one person does die to the zone, and then it becomes a 1v1, ladies and gentlemen. A 1v1 for qualification, guys. 1v1 right here. I'm getting a little worried, guys, because I am about to run out of mats in a second. And this guy wasn't a bad player, so I do miss a couple shots. I'm going to miss that shot. I'm going to continue to build, guys. I am going to try to continue to build, but I only got 3 more builds. And there it goes, guys. I am out of mats. I am completely out of mats, guys. Let's go. GG's. Alright, guys. There we go. So that is how I ended up qualifying. That was the last game. It was a lot of just playing it smart until the end and then coming out of my little shell, but it was a fun time to qualify. So hopefully you guys did take something from this video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.